Retirement income planning is one of the most important aspects of financial planning. In your later years, you become potentially fully dependent on the capital that you have accumulated over a lifetime of work to provide you with the peace of mind of an income stream for life. Retirees face three main risks: inflation, longevity, which refers to the risk of outliving your capital, and sequence of return risk, which refers to the impact of an adverse market environment, especially early in retirement, on your retirement savings. The typical retirement income strategy used in the market today manages longevity and sequence of return risk reasonably well, but may fall short in managing inflation risk. A stable income and smooth return path are meaningless if you don't achieve real returns and maintain purchasing power. In South Africa, we have become used to a benign inflationary environment with annual price increases typically in the Reserve Bank's target range of 3 to 6%. The period of very high inflation experienced in the 1970s and 1980s seems far in the distant past. While our base case is that monetary policy will remain sound and that inflation should remain within that target range, the low probability but high impact event of much higher inflation over the next 2 decades has increased. This is because of the additional funding required as a result of deteriorating government finances. The graph clearly shows a disconnect between government expenditure, represented by the blue line, and government income in mint, which results in a budget deficit. This leads to an environment where the government needs to issue ever more debt to fund the continuously increasing deficit. If the country cannot fund its debt at reasonable rates, the impact is likely to be inflationary. As a result, we think it is prudent, especially for retirees with several decades of retirement ahead, to protect themselves against the possibility of significantly higher inflation. So how does one go about that? At retirement, you have a choice between two options to convert your accumulated capital into an income stream. These two retirement income strategies can be used exclusively or in combination depending on your specific requirements. The first option, known as a life annuity, is an insurance policy that guarantees a pension income for the rest of your life. The insurance company takes on all investment and longevity risk in exchange for a large upfront premium payment. Life annuities are irreversible. Once you have paid the premium, you are locked in for life. The second option is a living annuity, which is an investment-linked annuity account held in your own name. A living annuity has numerous advantages, the primary being flexibility. You have the option to draw an income between 2.5% and 17.5% of the underlying investment fund value and have flexibility in terms of portfolio selection. Furthermore, a living annuity can be converted into a life annuity at some point in the future, either in part or in full, and the balance of the assets held in the living annuity can be inherited by your chosen beneficiaries. Life annuities, the insured option, offer attractive yields when government bond yields are high, as we are seeing at the moment. There are three main types of life annuities: a level annual income annuity, a fixed percentage escalating annuity, typically at 5% per year, and an inflation-linked annuity, where the annuity payment increases with inflation annually. Around 95% of retirees that bought life annuities in 2023 bought level or escalating annuities, attracted by the high yields currently on offer. While these level and escalating annuities provide good value in a benign inflationary environment, they do not provide any protection in a low probability but potentially devastating period of much higher inflation, such as experienced in the 1970s and 1980s. This is comparable to insuring your car against the cost of repairing a fender bender, but not against total loss when the vehicle is stolen. The downside of full inflation protection is the cost, as the yield of this type of annuity is typically around 30% less than that available from the 5% annual escalating annuity. Investors buying life annuities are effectively making a bet on whether inflation will remain benign or blow out over the next 2 or 3 decades. While retirees take investment risk in a living annuity, they can decide to invest in a portfolio of assets that have proven ability to meet their requirements regardless of the long-term inflation outcome. growth assets such as equities, and the benefit of international diversification is likely to provide inflation-beating returns in both the benign and the blowout inflationary scenarios. It is crucial to invest in a fund that can benefit from appropriate exposure to these assets, such as the Coronation Capital Plus Fund, which delivered a return of inflation plus 5.4% per year since its launch in 2001. This fund aims to achieve a return of 4% above inflation whilst minimizing volatility. In an unpredictable world, choosing the right retirement option can be challenging, and as such, we believe that the flexibility provided by a living annuity is extremely valuable. You can read more in our Income and Growth Correlab available on coronation.com. This is such an important decision that most retirees will benefit from consulting their financial advisor to determine the best option for their circumstances.